Excuse me? Look, I ordered one good burger with nothing on it.
And that's what I gave you.
No, you gave me a bun. Just a bun. Look, there's no meat in here.
But you said you wanted nothing on it.
Yes, well, I expected a meat patty.
Dude, a meat patty is something. You said nothing. Fizz, is a meat patty something or nothing?
Something?
I win.
All right, that rips it. I am reporting your name to the manager.
The manager already knows my name.
Oh, I'll see you in hell.
Okay, see you there.
Hello and welcome to the Mouthfuls podcast, a movie podcast with zero table manners. Each episode will be tucking into movies and occasionally the odd television show to chow down on some of the most iconic cinematic cuisine scenes in cinema history, as well as just about everything else we can get our hands on. I'm your host Jordan, the bloke trying to be known as the film fella online, and as always, it's not been always because it's been a few weeks he's left me, it's the one and only UK's number one competitive eater, and my co-host, as he likes to be known these days, Beard Meets Food!
Now we're back together forever. I'm back. I thought I might be getting the blame, but yes, it feels good to be back. It's cold back here. It's nice and warm in Canada, but it's good to be back in the warmth of your company.
Oh, you're very cute sometimes. Bless you.
I was being facetious, but okay, you can take it as sincerity if you like.
Yeah, well, you've been missed. We had a little bit of a break, didn't we? Did that? I'm pretty sure that double episode killed me. Did you say that I was saying McCulkin at one point during
several times? You said. I was like, is this intentional? You just start instead of saying Macaulay Culkin, he's like, oh yeah, McCulkin. I'm like, what is that like McLovin or something? Like it's like your little pet name for him?
I would like to say that was some sort of like fun thing that I just smashed his name together just because it's fun to say. It's not. My brain was just like it was just mush. We sat like 3 or 4 hours in total with preparation.
It doesn't sound like there's much effort that goes into this, but that was rough.
It was hard, but we did it for you guys because apparently people do listen to this now. So
I know, you keep telling me we get some reviews, we're getting like reviews and stuff. It's
exciting times. It's exciting time. We've got merch. I got you a shirt. Don't ever get you out. It looks good, doesn't it?
I'm not trying to hawk it because, like, you know me, I'm not really the sellout type, but I'm looking at this t-shirt now. Even when Jordan's wearing it, right, and you know he doesn't fill out a t-shirt, let's put it that way. So it's not the most flattering of models, but it looks nice. I'm definitely going to wear it.
Good quality, isn't it?
In private, but I wear it.
I was actually I went to a live podcast. It wasn't like a live recording, but it was a show that my missus is into. I don't know if anyone listens to it. In the UK, it's Help I Sexted My Boss. It's got that Jordan North Radio 1 DJ. He's like the guy from it. I went to go see that. First of all, demographic-wise, was just all women. Like, it was a lot of women. Like, a lot of, like, student-aged girls, like, swooning over this Radio 1 DJ.
I was considering wrong with that.
I was considering wearing my merch because they were selling their own merch. It's 20 or 30 quid they were selling t-shirts for. Get ours for a nice crisp £10 plus postage and stuff. So not a bad deal. But I was going to wear it and try and like advertise, but I don't think anyone there would have probably been our demographic, unfortunately.
Well,
including my missus.
Let's not fucking pigeonhole people, Jordan. Right? I mean, they could be.
They may well be.
And if you're going to something with, if predominantly the audience for this event was mostly women, it probably means it was worth attending. You fucking sexist.
I wasn't being sexist. Yeah, just in case that came across like that, I wasn't, I promise.
Well, I think what you're trying to say is that it was an event which appealed predominantly to the fairer sex.
Yes.
And that you felt out of place. Is that what you're saying?
Just because I don't really listen to the podcast, I felt
out of place. Not that you're intimidated
bits.
by the presence of lots of women, though.
Anyway, before I send myself down a rabbit hole that I don't want to be sent down, we're here to talk about, a film that you had never watched before, but also sounds like you'd never want to watch it again. I've watched it as a kid and then rewatched it now, and I still quite enjoyed it for what it was. So what are we talking about this week?
We are talking about Good Burger, otherwise known as the vehicle, a pointless vehicle for Kenan and Kel of, late 90s fame. So God knows why we're doing this fucking 25 years later, pardon my French, but we're doing the film known as Good Burger.
We are indeed. Should we just jump straight into the general stuff? Is there what else you want to say in this bit?
I mean, the film does not have much structure, so I don't think we're going to need. Luckily for us, seeing as though we're not the most professional of podcasters, we could probably just dive straight into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say this one again because it's just kind of all over the place in terms of it's a fast food restaurant thing. There's not really any iconic scenes. We'll just round up some key food scenes to talk about later. But let's jump into the general stuff first. Can see that you missed that.
Yeah, man.
Bopping away. Right, I guess what we normally do is I would throw it over to you to try and tell people what this film is about.
I'll still do that,
Yeah.
even though I hated the film. If you like,
Yeah, I'd like you to do that because I think your unique take on how you felt about this film will probably seep into your synopsis.
Might permeate a little bit, yeah. Right, so here we go. The picture of the scene. It's 1997, I think. Am I right? Somewhere around then.
That is correct. Yeah, 1997.
And yeah, you got. I don't know what their second names are. At the risk of being ill prepared, like that one-star review
Kel
said.
Mitchell and Kenan Thompson.
Kenan and Kel, and they've got a lot of success from the Nickelodeon show, I think.
So I think that started around the same time as this film. There was on a show before that this film is based on, just in case you didn't know,
I didn't.
a sketch show called All That, which was kind of a Nickelodeon version of SNL, but like for kids. And they had a segment set in Good Burger that starred them too. That's how they got their spin-off show, Kenan and Kel, and then they made this film.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought this maybe was just some kind of pointless film made after they got successful. Anyway, point of the fact is, yeah. So they play two characters who are not like best mates at the start of the film. They're estranged people. They don't know each other at the beginning of the film. And Kel he's got like some bizarre bob going on in this film, right?
Yeah, it's very interesting.
It's odd. But anyway, he works at a place called Good Burger, right, which is like a McDonald's. And it's implied that they're not faring too well, largely because of the ineptitude of their staff, predominantly him. And to make matters worse, there's a new fast food chain which looks all shiny and snazzy, which is opening across the street from them, called Mondo Burger, which it is implied is going to take all their custom. Mean they're all going to be out of a job. So that's the central plot. And what happens is Kenan is he's kind of like a slacker kid just getting out of school for the summer holidays. He's driving a car without a license for reasons unknown.
Yep.
And he's driving down the street, and Kel crosses the street, in a state of I don't know what even know what you call it, stupefied obliviousness.
Yep.
And he
rollerblades even.
Yeah, on rollerblades too. Yeah, remember them when they were fashionable?
Yep.
I could never do it. But yeah, he causes this kind of car accident, meaning Kenan crashes into his teacher's car, wrecks it, or a teacher's car, and he then has to pay for that, for which he has to get a summer job, which then leads him to working at the same place as Kel. And as I always end these things, hijinks ensue from that point, and you get the rest of the film.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I'm pretty impressed. That was pretty good to say that you clearly paid some attention to it, even though you was messaging me like constantly during your watch of this, going, "Oh my god, what is this?"
When you made me watch, I thought I better commit it to memory. I don't want to watch it for no reason.
No, very, very impressive summary there. I enjoyed that. Yeah, that's that. In a nutshell, that is it. So should we talk about sort of what we normally do, which is like, I don't know, who directed it, who's in it? Because there's some interesting people in this. Some people that you got quite excited about who are not quite in it, but we'll get to that because it links to the facts as well. Because there's some facts for this one as well.
I've missed those facts, mate. I was sat kind of thinking, what's missing from my life right now? Some fucking pointless trivia.
You'll never use again. That is.
Do we get to play budget and box office too?
Oh, we've got budget and box office. We've got no
my
jingle
God.
yet, though. I need to get onto my man Hi Honey about a jingle for budget and box office. I think that'll be up his street. Right. So cast-wise, as mentioned, you have got Kenan and Kel Mitchell and Kenan Thompson. For those who don't know, or rather, not that don't know, I don't know if you've ever come across this. I've come across it a lot, where there's rumours all the time that Kel committed suicide and he's dead, and like on the internet, there's always like a fake rumour about someone's died,
kind of thing, yeah.
But it's him like every 4 years. It's like just because he's disappeared to the earth, everyone's like, He died. Let's start a suicide rumor. He isn't dead. He's still alive. He's very much
Still
fine.
alive.
He's just career-wise compared to as much.
Has Kenan done anything? I don't think I've seen
Kenan is actually, so I'll just finish off the Kel bit. So Kel hasn't done much else, but he was the voice of one of the cartoon dogs in Clifford the Big Red Dog, which technically is some form of success. But
What a credit, yeah.
other than that, he did want to join SNL. I found out doing the research for this. His audition didn't go too well and he didn't get picked up, but Kenan did. Kenan is actually the longest running cast member in the show's history. He joined SNL in 2003 and he's still part of it now, and he's just got a Hollywood Walk of Fame hand thing for his comedy efforts.
Let me say, of the two, he is the more talented. So the SNL people, at least, yeah, I can see if you have to pick one of them, you ain't picking Kel. Put it that way.
Yeah, there's more range to Kenan, I guess. I enjoyed Kel in Kenan Kel. I mean, who doesn't love orange soda?
I knew you were going to
guys?
say that. Goddamn knew it.
Or Fanta or Tango, I guess.
Tango,
if you're
yeah,
over here. Kenan was also in Snakes on a Plane. If you cast your mind back, he is in that film.
Cast my mind back. Having never seen it, that would not help me.
We've got Sinbad, who plays Mr. Wheat, who is his teacher.
You know what? As soon as Sinbad showed up, I thought, it's all right now. Things are going to be okay. They're going to be all right, baby. We got Sinbad in there because, of course, to me, his most notable work is Jingle All the Way.
Yep, got it here.
Which we'll be doing soon enough. But yeah, I mean, even though he is good in it, he's Sinbad playing Sinbad.
He's playing a weird version. Like, he's got this weird hippie obsession, sort of like 70s.
He's playing like a Shaft style.
Yeah, well, he plays
Shaft.
the Shaft music, doesn't he? Which I actually, on my sort of watch through of this, I do make occasional notes for it. And on it, that comes up and it does the or whatever it is as he leaves. And he's like stood there, like admiring himself in the doorway as Kenan's made that reference to him. And I'm just like, who is this for? Yeah. Who is that? It's probably the parents that have taken the kids to the film, because it's not like they're not going to understand, surely, even in '97, who that is.
No, probably not.
It was just a weird reference. So yeah, you're right. Yeah, Jingle All the Way. You've got so this is where this cast is weird. So you've got Abe Vigoda. Now I'm going to say it now, and I want to watch these films specifically because we're doing this podcast, and there is food scenes that we've been, iconic and told about. But Abe Vigoda, who plays the old man Otis, is in The Godfather and The Godfather Part 2 in like a role, like a reoccurring role.
Yeah,
and he's in this. It's so weird. Like, how have they even managed to?
I think he was kind of a journeyman actor, though, wasn't he? Didn't he do quite a lot of?
It seems like it. I mean, the only other thing I recognise him from is the animated Batman film, one of the best animated Batman films, by the way. The Mask of the Phantasm. That was.
What did they draw him in that?
Well, he plays a character. Yeah, like a voice. So. He's not like in it as Abe Vigoda / Otis from Good Burger. I mean, that would be pretty impressive. I was quite, because I thought I recognised him, and then when I did the research, I was like, all right, well, I haven't seen, I hold my hands up, I haven't seen The Godfather. I haven't had 9 hours worth of my life to put towards it as of yet. But yeah, that was an interesting one for me. I just thought it was quite a high profile.
You're being attacked by a Beard HQ fly. I thought we'd exterminated all those.
Just a little tiny one. Don't mind me. Also, I found out that when he was doing this, I think Kenan had been quoted at the time saying that Abe was doing all of the running around. So there's a scene later where they're in an asylum, and he was running around jumping over fences and stuff, and he was in his 70s. And when he makes the quote about "I should have died years ago," it's in reference to the fact that I think some kind of publishing at the time had said that he died. When he was still alive, so it was like a meta. Again, who's that for? I don't know, but obviously adults again, I guess, taking it to watch with the kids. But yeah, thought it was interesting. And then it starts. So you've got Shah Jackson, who plays Monique, who's his love interest, Kenan's love interest, who was in Moesha, which was a sitcom show during the 90s. I only know because I binge watched Sister Sister recently with my partner, and that came up as a recommended, and I was like, I'm not doing this again. Speaking of Sister Sister, you've got Marquez Houston, who is literally in it for the car when it gets crashed, and then he runs off and leaves him, and that's the guy who plays Roger from Sister Sister. You've got Shaq in this.
I get the feeling they blew. I don't know how close I'm going to get with budget or box office, but that's going to throw a spanner in the works. Yeah, I'm assuming that's all the budget.
I messaged you because I'd forgotten that he was in it, and I was just like, he just loves money, doesn't he? He just like doesn't matter
Who
what it
doesn't?
is, he'll just turn up and be in something as
Yeah.
himself.
He seems like he's always a happy-go-lucky guy, though. Like, he's just like, shit, I'm happy to be asked to be in this. As long as you pay me bags of money, I'll be in it.
It's just incredibly like self-referential, though, innit? I feel like he just knows, and it comes across in any scene that he's ever in any film that he is there because he's getting paid. Not like I know an actor gets paid to be there, but he knows why he's there. And it just comes across in his air quotes acting.
Oh, yeah,
that, yeah. That he's just shilled for the dollar.
Can't blame the guy.
You've got right. So the interesting one, I messaged you saying Mr. Bailey, who is played by Dan Schneider, isn't all that great in this. He's quite a wooden. He's the manager of Good Burger.
Yeah.
He's a big lad, isn't he? He's a bit of a
He's
big,
portly,
big
yeah,
bloke,
he's portly,
portly bloke.
stout.
But which they're kind of playing off because it's a fast food restaurant, I guess. Ha ha, very funny.
Yeah.
Not a great actor, but this guy literally created my childhood. So he is like the writer, creator,
dad?
and producer. Yeah, he's my dad. He's the writer, creator, and producer of pretty much all the sort of 90s and early 2000s Nick shows. So I guess I'm going to read off some of these. You're going to look at me and go, what the hell are you on
I
about?
didn't have Sky. I
But-
wasn't rich enough.
So iCarly, Drake and Josh, The Amanda Show, Zoe 101, Kenan Kel. He was involved in like all of their spin-off films, shows, everything that they did. Amanda Baines, obviously troubled actress these days, but at the time, like early 2000s, really big, quite famous. So this guy like just was a powerhouse for Nickelodeon and just decided to chuck himself in it. He didn't actually make this, I don't think. He might have produced it, but the director was a guy called Brian Robbins. I couldn't find anything about this guy, so
I don't imagine that the offers to direct other films were flooding in after this one. Let's put it that way. But yeah,
Well, Dan did pretty well like, before, during, and after, but you went into like producer, writer-esque roles for those shows. And then we get to the weird stuff. So we've got Linda Cardellini, who plays Heather, who you got really excited about when you realised she was in it. This is, it's kind of part of the facts thing, but we're going through actors. This is her first ever cinematic role. So you can put that down, like you really like it. I really like it, to be fair. Known for such things as playing Velma in Scooby-Doo. She was in Brokeback Mountain. She's Hawkeye's wife in the Avengers films.
Yeah,
she was
come
in
off
The
it, man.
Founder that we watched.
She's out of Hawkeye's league. I'm not having that. Not a chance. Not a chance.
Poor Jeremy Renner.
Don't give me, I like Jeremy Renner, but no, I'm not buying that.
And then she was in The Founder that we watched. Was that episode 2, I believe we did The Founder. So if you haven't listened to that episode, jump back to that and see what we had to say. But yeah, that was weird for me because I didn't even realise, and you messaged me, I was like, is she in this? And then when I looked it up, I was like, oh, fucking hell, yeah.
She turns up in the nut house at the end.
Yeah, she does. And she's got a kinship to Ed because he's also slightly crazy. But,
Oh, yeah, a little bit,
but it
yeah.
never builds on it. It never builds past that point, which is slightly frustrating.
Well, it's a kids' film. I don't think they could. What do you think they would have been? The throes of passion?
No,
like, at the end
I
of the
just
film,
mean
or-
more like because he's a bit of a Dumbo, like, just to have like some sort of stupid romance to counteract Kenan's.
Or you wanted some kind of
Just
closure
like
to that
two dumb
storyline.
people dating sort of thing,
right.
or trying to date. Not like, I don't want them in the throes of passion, as you just described.
Something a little bit more. What's the word? Safe. Something a little
Safe,
bit.
yeah, we'll go with safe. Ron Lester, who played Spatch, who is the Spatch cook. It's the guy that cooks, who doesn't say a single line in this film apart from just grunts and groans. He was in Not Another
most
Teen
cooks.
Movie and Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and then he's been in nothing since. Poor guy. You can't really
maybe he got
expand your
out.
career doing that. Maybe he got
I was
out.
thinking he got out, and we're saying poor guy. Maybe that's what he wanted all along.
And then the other one that's not even credited in this film because it was her first role as well is Carmen Electra in it.
Oh yeah.
Carmen Electra is her first ever film role as well. I was reading up on this, that she originally came to Hollywood, she just wanted to be a dancer, and that's what she trained like her entire life to be. And I don't know how she ended up in this film, but because it showed that she had sort of like a slapstick sort of comedic side, she's okay in this. She's not terrible, she's just all right. As like sort of like the seductive,
The seductress.
the seductress trying to get the we'll talk later, but something from Ed. But obviously he's not too clever, so you don't
his
quite...
sauce.
His
She's trying to get
sauce,
sauce.
yeah.
But keep your minds out the gutter. We're talking about burger sauce.
Yeah, but she then got her roles in like the scary movie films because of Good Burger. So even though you didn't like this film, there is a bit of like cinematic history involved with a couple of people.
I don't attribute the fact that I don't like it to the people in it. It's the fact that the writing is horrendous. The jokes are just never funny. I mean, literally never.
Do you not even think like 6-year-old, 7, 8-year-old you would...
No,
No.
I think even then I was probably precociously smart enough to not.
What are you trying to say about me?
I don't even understand how even a kid would find it funny. Maybe like they would laugh at Kel's voice the first time he uses it because he's doing some weird approximation of like Oscar the Grouch and like Beavis and Butthead. He's like, welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order, please? And you're like,
yeah, it is pretty much spot on that. I think his initial... So that character, as I mentioned before, is from the show All That. They do the Good Burger segments in that, and his first audition for that show to get into it, he did that role or that voice, and it was supposed to be kind of like a dude voice, but then he's kind of gone from having it to be a dude voice, and then he's doubled down on the dumbassness of what some, hypothetically what some dude 90s type people were like. He's just gone like full ham towards like being a complete moron with that voice. So should we play your favourite game? Your new favourite game? Oh, you got well excited there.
Only because I don't even know where I'm going to start with this.
Well, you might be... I can't really give it away. I was going to say quite surprised, but we'll see. We'll see. So, no jingle, but budget. Hit me.
This is made in 97, yeah?
Made in 1997, yeah.
It has a level of CGI, which I could quite literally produce on the green screen that I've got about 17 feet away.
Totally, yeah.
So,
but remember, for 1997, remember, it's got a bit of Nick money behind it because it was one of their first feature straight-to-cinema type films.
Yeah, but I'm also trying to bear in mind that that's about the same time as Titanic came out.
Yeah,
which had really good
not
CGI.
Quite that budget.
Exactly. So I'm saying there was the ability there. So they've quite clearly.
James Cameron turned this down.
Oh yeah, not even he could have made this into a good film. Right, I'm saying the box office cannot be more. It cannot.
Are you doing
be
budget
more.
or box office first?
I'll do the budget. Sorry, first. The budget can. I will cry. I think if the budget for this is more, like 15. Not even 15 million. I want to say like. No, stick with it. $15 million.
You were coming down, and that would have saved you a little bit. $9 million, an estimated $9 million for the budget for this, which probably, how much are we saying went to Shaq?
Yeah, that good like 80% of that's going to Shaq, man.
Shaq and Sinbad and Abe Vigoda just cashed in, and everyone else got next to no. Box office then.
I have honestly no idea. I'm trying to factor in impressionable kids that wanted to go see.
Yeah,
Kenan Kel.
Nickelodeon, Peak of Power, these shows that I've been mentioning, they were very popular.
It can't have been more than like 30 million.
Okay, you're not there, but the fact that both of them, you're in sort of a similar range. So the box office estimate was 23.7 million.
Right.
So if we do the whole double thing, 18 million to produce it with marketing and all that carry on, it's technically a success, only just. It kind of limped over. Critically, this film was panned, as you would imagine.
You don't say. You don't say.
But for everyone else, like children and, like the marketing campaigns behind it and stuff and the free giveaways and all that kind of stuff, people like love this film. And people still love this film to this day, including me. So, yeah. Are you surprised by any of that?
Not really. I'm just thankful, really, that the box office was not more. I thought you were going to turn around and be like, no, it was like 30 million. I was going to be like, what? Did they just torch some notes in the back or something? Like, I'm quite impressed with that. Not the closest I've been, and I've never got dead on the money, but one day, maybe.
So do you want some facts? Because some of the facts are quite interesting for this, and one of them in particular, may explain where some of that money went.
Oh, yeah.
A massive waste, and it's something that you won't like, but we'll get to it.
Don't tell me they wasted food.
Maybe they did. So, in terms of facts, I don't know if you noticed, there's a bit of a ska renaissance going on throughout. But I say renaissance, this was probably like peak ska.
Wait, I've got to interrupt you, because if one of your facts is going to be that the song is We're All Dudes by Les and Jake.
Correct.
Oh, don't, because that was one of my facts. That was the only fact I had.
Oh, go on. Right. Sorry. Have you got a fact beard?
The only thing I wrote down, I was like, God damn it, is it from like their second album?
Possibly, but it was made for this film, so that might upset you. Like, it
Not
was
really that much. They probably gave them some. That's where part of the budget goes. I assume if it's going to less than Jake.
I think it was also written or produced by Kel.
Really?
In some way, yeah, and it is performed by them both, and he's in their music video for that. So if you go back, it's actually him dressed up as his character of Ed.
Well, it explains the lyrical shortcomings of the song.
Yeah, I'm a dude, he's a dude, she's a dude.
We're all dudes.
We're all dudes. Hey.
Yeah,
Yep.
not one of the greatest Less Than Jake songs, but yeah, that's the only thing the literal only note I
you
made.
shot me. I didn't know that. There was no quick, weird edit in this podcast to imply that I didn't already come out with that. Cheers, man. Blow me away with some of these, the little facts that you just come in that I've just not found.
All right,
just tell me about.
Get to the good facts then.
So we already did Linda and Carmen's debut films. Sinbad's character of Mr. Wheat. So I did find that name just seemed a bit odd. It's named after writer and producer Dan Schneider's high school math teacher. It says math instead of maths, but we're British, so we'll say maths. Gow Wheat at White Station High School in Memphis, Tennessee. I don't know why. Who has put this fact in there? There's some weird facts on the IMDb trivia
That's so
page.
specific it could be not true, and you wouldn't actually have any way to prove it wasn't true.
Our good old friend, I wouldn't say our good old friend Glue. That makes it sound like addicts of some kind. But we've mentioned it before in terms of like how food comes across in adverts and in films where they use different things to make them look nicer. So in order to make the food look good in this film, they were using Elmer's glue. They encased all of the burgers in it to seal all of the juices. And when Kel is in the milkshake machine because he's trying to fix it, and heaven behold, it turns out, did you try turning it on? And he'd not turned it on because he's an idiot. And then he starts shouting milkshake jacuzzi or something like that. What's his better? Yeah, I can see you absolutely hate it. The writing of this film, you hated it. But yeah, that ice cream, it looks a bit like Pepto-Bismol. It doesn't look particularly tasty. It is actually vegetable shortening with food colouring. So there you go, a bit of a food-related fact. But do you want a better food-related fact?
Yeah, go on then.
A better one than that. So Kenan Thompson told the Morning Call during like the time period, so he must have done some sort of interview for it, there was virtually 2,000 pounds of meat on set, some of it being old. He was quoted as saying, "It was so nasty, some of the burgers would stay out there for a long time. I felt sorry for the extras who had to eat them cold with clammy fries, but on screen, those burgers looked good," is what he said. So I reckon part of that budget has gone towards the £2,000 worth of meat that was just chilling.
Yeah, and people say that I waste food, right? They've got, 2,000 quid's worth of cheap meat out?
It does explain one of the food scenes we're going to talk about later. Just because I imagine that was all of that cold, crappy meat that had been left around, but we'll get to it. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Did you notice any of the weird things on the menu? I know you love a good menu. You love to eat all of the menu. So I've got all of the things from the menu.
No, I didn't notice it, but is it good stuff? It'll be. I get
They're all good. They're all good
Is
stuff.
it
So
similar to the Whammy Burger menu?
Good burgers and good fries, obviously. But some of the weird things, like what is good chunks? Unless is that chicken nuggets? Because it just says good chunks. You got good chickwitches. It doesn't even say chicken sandwiches. That's a weird name.
Probably
Good weenies.
Good weenies.
We'll leave that there. Good tacos, good chili, and good pickles.
See, this is the problem, I think, with Good Burger. They probably wouldn't be fretting so much about the threat of Mondo Burger if they specified in they specialised in one type of food. They got a lot of cuisine there.
Pies, shakes, coffees, cookies. Yeah, it's just they just sell everything apparently with good.
Bit like Jollibee.
Yeah, it's a bit like
Similar.
Jollibee. I was actually, when I was queuing for that podcast show that I went to the other day, it was opposite Jollibee, and I was really tempted to go in, but
You didn't go in.
I didn't go in. I also was trying to explain it to my other half, and Abby was like, "They sell spaghetti," and I was like, "Yeah, they sell spaghetti." Yeah. She didn't sound best pleased.
Not just any spaghetti, jolly spaghetti.
Jolly spaghetti.
Guaranteed to make you jolly.
What else have we got here? So I've mentioned the thing about Abe Vigoda being reported as dead. We've got the thing about Carmen Electra having an uncredited appearance. To promote the film, there was the Good Burger, Good Premiere, and Good Sweepstakes. I'm sure you would have entered this because you love this film.
Totally.
So there was I read this originally as a $4,000 prize, and I was like, Jesus, why wouldn't you enter it? But it was a $4,000 prize winners who won tickets to the film's premiere. They won $1,000, so that's not too bad. They got to meet Kenan and Kel, and then 100 people got to win a fabric hat with dreadlocks, which seems a bit strange.
Cultural appropriation there.
Yeah, and I wonder, if you listen to this podcast and you've got one of those, can you send us a picture?
Let's see it.
So you could look like Ed. And there was also, what else did you get? 500 second place winners won a copy, so you might like this one to be fair, of the film's soundtrack that had a label saying it was licensed for promotional use, not for sale. So I'm presuming it will have had the Less Than Jake song on this. It might be like a rare CD, that.
You would imagine so, yeah.
Or just in a landfill somewhere.
Probably. I think when it comes to the grand prize, I think I would actually pay £1,000 not to meet Kenan and Kel. Like if you said you can get out of this.
What? He's the longest running SNL actor. You don't want to meet him for that.
I never liked Kenan and Kel. I got nothing against the guy, or the guys, plural. But yeah, I mean, this was probably about as funny as their TV show. Not funny.
Well, I guess you wouldn't have wanted to watch Good Burger 2 Go then, no?
This actually had a sequel without the main two.
No. So in 1998, Dan Schneider had written a script called Good Burger 2 Go, a sequel to the original film that had Ed and Dexter uncovering a scandal when a British... It's always us, isn't it? We're always the bloody evil people in American films. Maybe that's some cross-colonialism type thing going on. Conglomerate buys the Good Burger restaurant. Paramount had turned the script down for unknown reasons, and it was later hired to be turned into a paperback novel. So I think in the book, it's about the fast food chain needs to get their secret sauce approved via several taste tests. However, there's a problem when the sauce runs out and Ed goes missing. The reason that Ed goes missing is that he follows a customer across the globe to try and give him his 18 cents change. Thoughts?
I mean,
in an alternate parallel dimension or universe, we would have been reviewing that film.
I don't know how you would have the balls to take that to a network executive and say, let's make this film, even on the back of the first one being a financial success.
There's still a clamour now, apparently. Like, people still want like a second one, and they keep saying never say never, but it's probably not going to happen.
I think you need to get your dictionary out and look up the word clamour. There might be a mild sense of, I don't know, nostalgic desire to have the film remade, but I think if it were remade, people would likely immediately regret that.
I'm just trying to see what else we've got. So I kind of put this down just because it was so stupid that I wanted to put it down just to prove how daft sometimes the IMDb trivia page is.
That's a good way to refer to Ed actually in this film. So stupid, you wanted to put him down.
Wow.
Not that I'm encouraging you.
Brutal. The Good Burger Coca-Cola fountain dispenser has 5 fountains, but only 2 beverages, 2 of which are Coca-Cola and 3 are Diet Coke. The Coca-Colas are on the ends and the Diet Coke are in the middle. Who wrote that? Why? That's not trivia. That's nothing. That is literally nothing. Why?
I don't know, but I did notice the product placement that Coca-Cola was in this quite heavily.
Yeah. The Burgermobile, in case you wanted to grab one, because I'm sure that would look hecka nice outside Beard HQ instead of your Tesla. Yeah, hecka nice. I'm trying to use a bit of like 90s dialogue, I guess. Was their 1976 AMC Pacer. So, get yourself an eBay, get looking, see if you can find yourself a Burgermobile.
That was about the only good thing about the film, actually. That car was pretty...
Gas lens, whether you could contemplate, I might do this with Tesla.
I wouldn't do it to Tesla now, come on now. I could maybe get an old beat up car, or do it to her car, which is awful.
Turn up to every single challenge in like a ratty ass car.
This must be the guy. Yeah, be like Uncle Buck's car, but with the burger on the front.
Yeah, with like the bang and everything, like the shotgun sort of like blast from the back.
Surely we got to be done with facts now. Come on, man.
I guess
You're blasting a hole in me with all these facts.
the ice cream truck was called Obese Bros, and it was also a reference, if you didn't catch it, to the Goonies, where they're yelling the name of the flavours, where Chunk finds a cachet of ice cream and begins listing off the many flavours.
How have we not done Goonies yet?
Yeah, we'll get to Goonies. We'll get to them all. We'll do them all. And only then will we stop. We will do every single food.
That sounds like that sounds like a threat, because it is a threat.
I mean, it's your studio, but technically your mics, but we'll do it until we've done them all. And the last one, it would have taken Dexter 13 weeks to pay off his repair. He says it'll take him forever, but it would literally $5 an hour, 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, 13 weeks. Will get his $1,900 repair bill, even though it goes up technically. So,
not to mention his the amount he's skimming off for the sauce, because he's conning.
Well, that's not even including that. So even less. He
would have been out
he's
there
a
in
bad
no time.
friend, but we'll talk about that. So that's all the facts. I've saved one because it links to said plot.
Okay.
So have you got any notes just in general about the film? Is there what you want to talk about? I do think that the CGI is absolutely hilarious. I mean, even by 1997 standards, the talking burgers at the beginning, that's...
Frankly, I'm I almost turned it off. Like, I almost kind of
what is
turned it off
this?
and sent you a message saying I refuse to do this, because
Also, you powered through. That's some commitment. Is that? I'm quite impressed.
yeah,
I'm impressed because I know what you like sometimes.
I mean, and it's not often that I turn a film off, really, if I started watching it, but like the beginning is like trippy, weird.
Does he go to hell?
I don't.
It looks like he goes to hell. Maybe
what's
this film is all
implied.
set in hell.
Yeah, it's some odd purgatory. But yeah, I mean, they're playing the basketball. I sound like
with the baby.
100-year-old. Yeah, they somehow switch a basketball with a baby, then dunk a baby.
Yeah. One of my notes was just they dunked the baby. Like
Yeah,
they
not in
dunked
the
the
way
baby.
that, like,
The baby's fine, and also the guy gets it and he's the worst actor in the world because he goes, huh? Like just looks at this
that was
baby.
perfect. You could be in this film. Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. It's kind of a really poorly filmed, poorly shot, poorly executed attempt at slapstick humor.
Yeah, it's just the rollerblading thing that leads him to his incident with Dexter. Or is that... No, I think it just implies that he roller skates to work, doesn't it? And then he does it again. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, he's this rubbish at roller skating. And then obviously that happens and makes Dexter crash. Actually, one of my notes when the little burgers popped up with the eyes, the little ping pong ball eyes, and they're talking, it's kind of weird, like a weird sort of scene in itself. But I was just wondering, you eat a hell of a lot of burgers sometimes. Have you ever like got so delirious that it looks like all these burgers? Like, yeah. Any weird dreams? Like, let's get it off your chest.
I've never had I've never been that out of my mind that burgers start talking to me. No.
Send you to hell.
Yeah, no, I never had that.
Just the toilet.
Yeah.
Banana alarm clock. You got loads of random burger paraphernalia just scattered around Ed's house. He sleeps in his uniform. He gets in the shower in his uniform. He's got a wall of rubber ducks.
He lives a good burger, this man, doesn't he? He's the model employee, really.
To be fair, I mean, he's late. He's late. He's late all the time.
He can't do the job, but like his heart's in the right place.
And they haven't fired him, so
No, for some reason it did make me laugh at the beginning when they're having like a bit of a staff meeting while there's a queue of customers accumulating, saying, "Oh, we're gonna go out of business." And I'm thinking, well, yeah, you should probably turn around and sort the guy out who's been waiting to be served for 10 minutes first.
that was actually one of my notes. It's not really a thing anymore, but obviously the parody sort of trope of a fast food restaurant and everyone being quite young and quite, I don't want to say dumb and stupid, but just like
Inept. Inept
yeah,
is
they're
what you
doing
mean.
it through high school and they don't really care. Is that I'm the drive-through guy, just refuses to serve the guy, and then the other girl's like, what? I don't know what she does. It doesn't ever imply what the two girls do. There's one guy that only makes fries, which is the old man, so he can't serve them either. The manager, even though he's there, also doesn't. So it's just got to be Ed.
Yeah,
It's Ed or nobody. Like you do not eat at Good Burger unless Ed serves you. If he has a day off sick, they're fucked. Like,
good burgers. It's like when you go to McDonald's and the milkshake machine's down. Ed's not here today. He's broken, so you don't get food today.
I also, one of my notes was that a budget John Candy. So Dan Schneider
Yeah,
does feel like a very budget John Candy.
not that you're tarring anyone overweight with the same brush.
No, but it just feels like that was him and Spatch. They've gone for that joke on purpose to be like, ha 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 ha.
Yeah, I don't think John Candy would have been in this.
No, I think it wouldn't have touched it with a barge pole.
No, but yeah, are we doing a transition? Or no?
Yeah, well, let's go to some of the food scenes because predominantly most of the film is about food, and we can round this out.
Yeah.
That was like the most half-assed. Let's just round this up. Bye. Just press the button. There was
It's
no
only
like
so long. As long a man can talk about.
no. There's only I know. I can see you, Brett. You just want to talk about the food and go home.
Yeah.
It's almost like the equivalent of me like holding you at gunpoint in this podcast, isn't it? But I just talk and talk and talk and talk.
No, it's just the fact you're not. I'm not letting you choose the next one. I'm choosing the next one because you always pick shit ones, man.
Right, okay, so should we do it in the order of the film? None of them are mega significant scenes, as mentioned before, because the film is all about fast food. It's a bit like when we did Burnt. We always come back to Burnt.
It's about that level, yeah. It's you know what?
In a different way.
I said Burnt was the worst, one of the worst films I've ever seen. This sets a new fucking hard zero, man. Like this is the worst, and I've seen the Spice Girls film.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, go on.
So, I guess the first... We're not going to go through every part of everything where we see food in the film because that would be ridiculous and we would never go home. But the first scene, so as mentioned in your fantastic summary of this film, Mondo Burger is the big, scary fast food conglomerate chain that has opened up over the road. It kind of looks like Disneyland when you're looking at it. It's got like loads of random crap on the outside. It's like this big towering building that's just...
What's with the... It's almost like some weird... futuristic dystopian autocratic society in a burger
restaurant. It is, with the space suits.
Why are they wearing... I thought at first, in fact, I made a note that says, what is with the latex? Right? Yeah. But then I also put, this is how much attention I was actually paying. I hope you appreciate this. I do. Wait a second, though. Wipe clean. Practical. You get a bit of burger sauce on you.
Yeah, true. It's weird because I've completely forgotten the name of the main antagonist, but we'll call him Blonde 90s Guy because he's got frosted tips and he's been
Looks
like
a bit
the
like
most...
Dexter Holland from Offspring.
Yeah. So he's the typical 90s cliche with the way that he talks and how he acts. However, even though he's got like that 90s surfer bro frosted tips vibe, he's also... Does he own Mondo Burger? Is it because it's implied it's a chain, but he also acts like he's like Lord Commander of like every Mondo Burger going, but he's only in that particular venue. It's weird.
I think he's the Führer of the
other two guys don't even get named.
Reich.
So one of my facts that I had that I was mentioning, I've got a couple that are going to feed into these. The other his two lackeys don't ever get named. They're just there.
Henchman number 2.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, so the scene in question is the burger assembly scene. So bun, patty, topping, sauce, assemble, which sounds like the worst like Avengers slogan I've ever heard.
It was almost how did that take a while to write? That's like a reverse gag.
They write themselves. It's just, I'm so witty.
That's the only time you've actually made me laugh on this podcast.
That's a lie. I'm going to go back and find.
I mean, probably laugh. Normally I like
laugh
snigger
at me.
Yeah.
But just trying to break that down. So bun, patty, topping, sauce, assemble. Kind of seems like the logical way to assemble a burger. I mean, you can assemble them in many a different way.
You wouldn't do the bun first, would you? And then just smash the shit on top, and so it's like inside out.
Although to be fair, Kenan's character Dexter is pretty much doing that. Like his assembly station is it's not great. Also, speaking back to the terrible CGI in general in this film, when he's like he's got all the stuff in his hand and like the guy's telling him off, saying like you're fucking this up. Like if he doesn't say that, but it's like you're messing this up, and he's picking up the things and he's like flapping and trying to do it. He picks up a burger and he's got it in his hand. He could throw it. Like, they throw the other thing. All the other items of food that he picks up, like the lettuce and stuff, he chucks over his shoulder as part of the slapstick humour of the scene. The burger is definitely on a piece of string. Because he sort of like hovers in like a weird, janky... Goes over his shoulder still. But why? For what reason? Why not just throw it? Was
You know
someone
what?
going to eat that later? Is that why it was like, right, he's going to hold it and we're going to do 10 scenes. Maybe that was it. Maybe we're going to do like 100 scenes of you doing this stupid slapstick comedy. So instead of just throwing 100 burgers on the floor, we're just going to tie this one to a thing and just keep ziplining it back.
I mean, the film is littered with inexplicable nonsensory. So a burger on a string is the least of its concerns, if you ask me. But yeah, no, I didn't really get the whole Mondo Burger
Hierarchy, set up.
dictatorship
It's
of
just,
burgers.
it's just weird. All of it is just so weird. I don't want to. You were saying like some sort of futuristic dystopian like fast food. I don't want to live in a world where if that becomes,
Especially not where they serve just steroid burgers.
yeah. So we'll smash like a good smash burger those scenes together, even though they're not quite next to each other. So the burgers are pretty hefty out there when they're making them. They're like it's like 2 hockey pucks.
It looks like a haggis to me. It's not even like flat. It's like a round or like a liver or something. Like
It's like a brick. It looks like a brick, doesn't it?
a brown brick.
Yeah, it doesn't look nice at all. Doesn't look particularly appetizing at all. Looks like you could probably injure and potentially get arrested.
For sure.
Some sort of burger placed assault. Would you eat it?
I mean, I would eat almost anything, right? On the basis that it's not covered in the weird studio glue you were talking about, I would.
No, you've got to eat it with the studio glue.
Oh, then no.
no, you would eat it without the studio glue. Is that what
Yeah,
you're
probably. I
saying?
mean, it looks for a fast food burger. It looks extremely large. And,
It doesn't look very fast, does it? Because the essence is that you get smash burgers, don't you? Or like very thin burgers in a...
Typically, yeah. But
Yeah.
those are it is revealed later in the story that they're not quite kosher. Not in the sense that the cuisine sense, but in the sense that they use
I'm just trying to find it now. I know what you're looking
surreptitious methods to make
for.
these.
Triamphenol, the illegal substance. I don't know if that's real. I probably should have Googled. Should I have a quick Google?
Jordan, I get the feeling it's not real. I think they call it trianthanol because they quite explicitly say it makes the burgers 3 times bigger. Trianthanol.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
No flies on you.
Yeah, so they're using an illegal substance. Just talking about Mondo Burger in general, because it kind of all links in. A lot of the rather stupid aspects of this film happen in the Mondo kitchen area.
Yes.
A few things that I noticed. We'll just break them down.
I'll indulge you.
So giant furnace like grill that they go in, normal size, come out. It's a bit like Willy Wonka-esque.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay, but obviously we know they're putting a chemical on it. Why is there a ladder that takes you to the roof of the building in the kitchen?
I don't know, man. I
mean, it's great for your little chase scene when Kenan's like, yeah, and like runs up the thing and like runs up to the ceiling or whatever onto the roof. But I was like, why is there a ladder? And he also uses it as like a platform to like use a bit of Führer-esque to like talk over his employees at this big.
It's kind of half like Bond villain lair,
Yeah,
and half fast food joint. I think it's because kids probably aren't smart enough to understand that fast food joints that look like fast food joints could be run by evil people. We've got to make them look like evil geniuses.
Are you suggesting that there's like a hidden message in this film? Is that what you...
I think they just got to clearly say who the good guys and who the bad guys, because the rest of the script makes 0 sense. So even for kids to follow along, they got to know who the bad guys are, and that is shown quite literally with latex suits and weird kind of evil layers.
Yeah. I was trying to think. There was another thing that was really weird about the kitchen area. I found quite odd. That's it. The security. So obviously, there's a point where Kenan and Kel dress up as 2 women and go scope out Mondo Burger and find out what they're doing. Just waltz straight into the kitchen, straight in, and then immediately get caught because, like, I'm not sure what you was expecting from waltzing straight into the kitchen of an establishment that you don't work at. Whether you're trying to Karen it up or not, as they're complaining about stuff and pretending they've lost the bathroom. They pretty much just walk straight in. But that leads to Linda Cardellini being in this later on, the whole asylum stuff. What is the weird connection with Mondo Burger and the fucking asylum? How does that even work? Right, just going to bring up this, that's just...
Well, again, we go back to the evil genius thing, don't we? I think it's implied that they are part of some kind of evil conglomerate, like New World Order, which on the one hand, has its finger in the fast food industry pie, but also seems to own and operate some asylums.
For some reason.
Which are handy if you want to dispose of people who are an inconvenience to you.
There's just no... And obviously, it's a kid's film. I just found it very funny. I was like, what the hell is happening? I just don't understand. I don't get it.
Yeah, I found that from about, I don't know, 3 seconds in to 3 seconds
as soon as that
end,
burger started to work its way out of the bag.
Yeah.
Hi, Ed. I'm done. I'm out of here. Speaking of Ed, so one of the, sauce doesn't get its time of day sometimes, I guess. Sometimes
I'm
people
guilty
don't talk
as anyone
about...
of that. I'm known to omit sauce from lots of my meals. Yeah.
So the sort of like the MacGuffin, if you will, of the film, as they say in
Not
the industry.
McCulkin, no.
Not the McCulkin. No, the MacGuffin.
The MacGuffin
Is Ed is having his lunch. He's upset Kenan's character Dexter because Dexter has found out that it was him that caused him to crash his car, and that is why he's got he doesn't want this summer job. So he's eating his lunch and they stuff some grapes up his nose and says, "I am Mr. Grape Man," and then makes some sort of weird noise, to which rekindles their friendship for some reason.
If anything, that would make me that would have been the point at which
It does tell him to go away a couple of times before then succumbing to it.
Yeah, no, he should have just thrown his food at him. Or something.
But Ed apparently comes to work every day with a little pot of homemade sauce that apparently he's never shared or told anyone about ever. One of the facts, according to Kel Mitchell, who plays Ed, he did an interview where he said that the sauce that they used, I don't know whether this implies that they went and got this sauce or whether the recipe for the sauce that they used for the film tastes exactly like In-N-Out burger sauce. So I don't know whether he's just saying, as a matter of factly, we just use that as the set prop, or whether the ingredients that are mentioned in said sauce make it taste like that when they've tried making it.
I feel like he's just said that to sound interesting, really.
Possibly.
I'm not buying it.
He's not got a right lot else going on, has he?
They probably use some custard and put a little bit of orange food down there to make it look a bit more intense.
Yeah. I mean, would you try, I know you don't like to think about it, but back in the day, we were working together back in our banking environment. Yeah. And say it's a day where you are eating, you're not having your giant 300-foot salad bowl and black coffee or whatever. Yeah. If I just whipped out a pot of sauce, it was like...
Out your back pocket.
Yeah, Adam, do you want to... I've just taken the grapes out of my nose.
You take some grapes out of your nose and you say, "Hey Adam, do you want to try my sauce? I brought a little pot of sauce for you."
You wouldn't try it, would you?
No, I would have probably sent you home for the day.
That plot of the whole film would have lived and died there, because like he'd have been like, "Do you want some sauce?" No, I fucking hate you. I've just told you that I don't like you. I'm not trying your sauce.
Plus, I'm not trying your room temperature sauce, which you've just produced from who knows what orifice, where it's appeared from, and I don't know what's in it, and you're a mess of a person, so I don't know how you've made sauce.
I mean, it's also a tomato in his pocket. Just keeps tomatoes in his top pocket. Or is it a pickle? It's one of the two.
I think it's tomatoes, because he says, hey, tomatoes. It's like, oh, wait there, I've got my back pocket. There you go, son.
Yeah, weird. Just all around weird. Wouldn't have touched it. I mean, did you catch a glimpse of any of the things that were going in this sauce that weren't mentioned as he tries to reveal his secret recipe to everyone?
Not gonna lie, no. I didn't. No. Do you want to tell me? Do you want to itemize
I really tried. So it looked like there was some kind of carnation. I've seen the label.
Milk? Evaporated milk?
Yeah, carnation evaporated milk. Yeah. Interesting, but I suppose it can be a base for some sauces.
Yeah, it does look thick enough, yeah.
Chucking a load of pickles in there. Just, I guess kind of what some people do, relish and stuff in sauces. Garlic, mustard, and any lemon juice and ketchup. So they're the only items that we ever see or hear about that go in the sauce. I mean, it's probably edible.
Well, I mean, I feel like we should give the sauce its due, because the sauce is what saves Good Burger, right? I'm giving away the plot here, but please don't go watch this.
I mean, I think you should, but
no, promise me you won't. I mean, promise me,
promise me, people,
promise me. Yeah, but the sauce is what Mondo Burger makes really big burgers by less than honest means, because they use this weird substance, and in order to take back the custom that they have lost to Mondo Burger, Good Burger comes across this sauce that Ed has somehow synthesized, and they decide they're going to put on everything. It's going to be like their magic sauce that gets everyone back eating there, and it seems to work. And from there, Mondo Burger gets wind of this and says, "We need that sauce recipe." and they try and extract it from Ed, Kel's character.
Via Carmen Electra.
Via Carmen Electra. Not literally extract it, but they try and get her to seduce it out of him. And actually, I will say, about the only part of this film that brought anything close to a smirk,
I know what you're going to say.
Close to an expression on my face was when Carmen Electra says to him, they're on this double date, right? This weird double date. And she says, can we go somewhere quiet? It's just you and me. I'm trying to be a seductive. I can't really do like a flirty voice. She's like, doesn't that sound fun? We could get to know each other, get nice and close. Just you and me together, you know, it'd be nice. Doesn't that sound more fun than mini golf? And he just goes, no. I thought, you know what? That's something I would totally do. I'd be like, man, actually, mini golf's pretty cool.
I did the same scene. The exact same scene is exactly what I picked up on. I just thought, of all the sort of kid-like things going on in this film and all the implied actions that are sort of there and what she's trying to do, his delivery of that, and because he's gonna say no, because it's Ed. He roller skates to work, like miniature golf compared to sitting and talking to a girl. Is
freaking with Carmen Electra. No, give me mini golf any day.
and then we always seem to go back to cruelty to women for some reason, but he like judo throws her over his shoulder at one point after knocking her out with a golf ball and smashing her head into the dashboard.
Pure suplexes as a poor girl, yeah. I don't know why.
I don't really have anything else we can go over. I mean, they eat some corn dogs on that date.
The only other thing I was going to mention, food related, and since I need to give this podcast sometimes a little bit of competitive eating colour, I was impressed by when what the heck is Kenan's character called?
Dexter.
He's a bit depressed because he's trashed.
Oh yeah.
Sinbad's car.
Yep.
And he's sat there, like, drowning in sorrows with milkshakes. The dude has about fucking 12 milkshakes on his head. Like, he must have some capacity, because that's at least 6 litres.
Keep them coming, he says, as well, because it's doing that. It's doing a riff off of a bloke at a bar doing shots of whiskey is what it's doing, but he's
doing, like,
milkshakes.
4, like, half-litre cups of milkshake.
Yep.
This man, maybe he's in training. But I was thinking, wow, that's some amount of shake there.
We didn't actually. We were talking about the wastage of food. So going back to Mondo Burger, towards the end of this film, Ed gets the triumphanol, and sort of like the plot twist is that they've failed again because he's got an empty bottle. But it turns out in the one moment of like actual brilliance that Ed has, and there's also that rant at the very end of the film where he starts talking about like evil corporations and the fact that the prison system's a joke and stuff, which all comes from Ed, which is pretty funny.
It tries to make it funny by Ed has one moment of clarity where he's smarter than every single other person on planet Earth for about 30 seconds at the end of the film, which is in itself supposed to be a joke because he's been dumb the whole film.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it, right?
But in that scene, he puts the triumphanol on the burgers that already had it on, but he just pours like a full bottle in, doesn't he? And then you end up with these ginormous, like, it don't look like a sofa coming out of the other side of burgers that then explode, and that must be all of that £2,000 worth of manky meat that's just been blown up and thrown everywhere. So at least they went practical with, you know what we can do for this film? Blow up some meat. Cool.
Why not? Yeah, let's explode some meat.
Would you eat one of them?
No.
They're pretty big. That's like this table size.
I don't think I would eat anything with trianthanol in it.
Forgetting the triumphanol, just the size of that burger.
Yeah,
have you ever attempted anything like that?
I think it'd be horrible. It's bad enough when you get those places that make a big burger patty and it's basically just a bunch of mince that they've formed into like a stool-shaped patty, and it's like, oh man, this is going to taste awful.
It's like your recent video at the time of recording that you did with your sister with just a plate of really cold meat. I imagine if you ate something of that size, it's not going to retain its heat for very long.
That's
and therefore would.
Yeah, people always think like if you do like a steak eating challenge, I always avoid them because they always taste like death, or like very rare unless you get a really good steakhouse. Like I've done a couple that were really good ones, and I knew they were really good before I went there. But invariably, there's
I knew straight away clicking on that video. Yeah. Like I knew straight away. I was like, no offense to said place where you got them from. I mean, you went pretty heavy on them anyway in your video. But I think your sister made one boo boo in the sense of getting steakhouse. You would like it at a regular steak restaurant. That you're gonna have to. You need to have it. I'm not even a competitive eater, but I was like, if you're going to do that, you need to have it at a point where when you bite down, it breaks off and you can chew it and you can swallow it, not where you're like chewing.
It's one thing ordering like rare steak at a good steakhouse. It's another
where
thing
it melts in your mouth.
Rare steak at a Flaming Grill.
Yeah.
Anything that's owned by Green King. You ain't getting
But you can sponsor the podcast if you want, guys. Anything else? Anything else for anything else? There is, if any American listeners can tell us whether these are any good or not, they walk around a truck that is rolled gold America's pretzels. I've never had these before. I love pretzels. I always eat pretzels all the time. I've got like some weird obsession. Go to cinema, buy a bag of pretzels with popcorn. I don't know what it is. Are they any good? Have they been discontinued? I need to know. They look pretty good on the truck. That's my last bit.
Let us know, yeah. Let Jordan know so I can sleep.
Send us a letter. Should we go to the outro? Is there anything else you want to say? Or?
No, the sooner we get to the outro, it feels like it's been a long one. I'm not sure it's because it's this film, but
Oh, they're always a long one. Let's do this. Yeah, unfortunately, we're at the hour mark again. I say unfortunately, one of our reviews that I'm about to get to in a second is quite happy with the allotted time. Of
happy
our
with the
episodes.
length.
Happy with the length.
First
It's always
time
good to be happy
anyone's
with it.
been happy with my length.
I was trying to get a joke in myself, but you got there first.
I saw the dick joke in your eyes. I thought, I'm having this moment.
So that is episode 14. Episode 14. So we managed to keep going through your trip to Canada. We're back. I've just put you through some sort of hell through watching this. You can pick the next one. We're going to pick it after this once we stop recording. So we're not rushing. We've got enough time to do it. We'll do a good one, or what Adam deems to be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking like Hellfire, 14 episodes, that's more than 40 towers.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean,
It's 3 more than 40 towers, actually, to be precise.
as long as ours age is a bit better than theirs, we'll be all right.
I don't know. You never know,
No, it's
do you?
aged well in terms of the comedy. I think in terms of whether you get away with it or not these days, probably not.
We've had a couple of sketchy moments, but not out of any nefarious intentions, just because, I don't know, we're not that professional.
Speaking of which, we are professional in the sense that we are available wherever you get your podcasts. You like that?
Yeah,
So
you know what?
professional that one.
I've got to just interject. I know we're going long already, but I'm actually appreciating your professionalism and sense of preparedness because I filmed another podcast today, which admittedly is reasonably new, but they had no fucking branding. They had a name for the podcast, but no social media handles or anything. So the outro was directionless. So hats off to you. You've generally got this down pat. So anyway, I'll let you continue.
Sweet, I'm trying my best, man. But we are available wherever you get your podcasts. So if you just search for Movie Mouthfuls Podcast, say it all the time, but you're already listening to it. But people say these things at the end, so I'll keep doing it. Make sure that if you are listening to us, but you haven't clicked the follow or subscribe or the listen button or whatever button it is on your preferred player that means that you will see new episodes when they come out, then please do that. If you are doing it on Apple Podcasts in particular, just because that is how we will more than likely get in front of new people, leave us a star review, leave us a nice star review. Leave us a good star review, of which I had some digging today and found out that we've got 2 from the US of A that weren't showing up on my version of Apple Podcasts because obviously we're based in the UK. So these are a little bit old, but we're going to read them out anyway.
I can't believe people in the USA can understand you. Like, it was
I
a
know,
fucking
I'm
nightmare when I
pretty
was in
shocked.
Canada.
I'm pretty shocked. I've got a friend who's a YouTuber who, when I started my channel, is from Florida, and for some reason he seems to like me. I don't.
Who the heck is that? You have other YouTube friends?
Yeah, I've got another
Feel
YouTube
personally
friend.
wounded.
It's I'll give him a shout out, actually. It's a Roast Turkey. Go check out Roast Turkey if you might be listening. I don't know.
Roast turkey or roast herky?
Roast Turkey.
What's his channel about?
It's film reviews and stuff. We've done like a collaboration before. It's
collab.
good stuff. He's much better than me. Let's put it
That doesn't
that way.
take much, does it, man?
No, it doesn't.
If he uploads content.
It doesn't. But as I was saying, the title of said review is Good Way to Burn an Hour. So this guy likes the length. It just says, good podcast, 2 guys chatting it up.
Wow.
And that was from Dortrix20, based in the US. So thank you very much. And that was a 5-star review.
Thanks,
so
Dortrix.
thank you.
You sound like a character from Harry Potter.
Yes, like Beatrix or something like that, or Bellatrix. Bellatrix is what
I
you're
don't know.
about.
I didn't
Lestrange.
think that far into it, but
No,
I just thought it
Bellatrix
sounded Harry
Lestrange
Potter-y.
is a character, and Beatrix Potter is an author. And there's another one that we've got that is just the title, just says thanks. Not sure for what, but thanks. And it's quite a very pleasant and short review. It just says, quite nice, cheerio. And that is by It's by Mysterious Deadhead. So very mysterious,
I
but
can
also
see why he's mysterious, yeah.
but very pleasant as well. Or her.
That's like my perfect social interaction. That, if I see someone on the street and they said that to me, I'd be like, yeah.
Quite nice. Cheerio.
So, yeah.
But yeah, thank you. Like we've said before, we will shill to the good reviews. So if you leave us a nice review or a funny review that's still nice, we'll read them out. You'll get your time to shine. And we're very appreciative of it because it's the way that will help us grow. Speaking of helping us grow, as with all of our other social channels that I'm going to mention in a second, we are now on YouTube. I've just been uploading the episodes that we've got, taking a little bit longer. So at the moment, we've got episodes 7 and 8, I believe, up there, and I'm working my way backwards for everything, and then going forwards, we will start adding them as well. And, who knows? We might do some other stuff. Never know. Maybe.
We're not on film yet, so you don't have the...
there's no... You don't
have to
get
tolerate Jordan's face as he's talking about this,
You can't stare at us just yet, but if you fancy just flicking it up on YouTube...
Maybe one day.
Yeah, so maybe one day. But also, if you just want to just subscribe to that channel in prerequisite of what may come next, then you can do. Or if you just want to, I don't know, if you're at work or whatever and you don't have your phone to hand for some reason, you can get to YouTube, you can listen to us on there. If you want to find us, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook at Movie Mouthfuls, as always. You can also find myself over on Twitter at @thefilmfella_, as mentioned, and as rib-tickled as I am at the jibes. I do have a YouTube channel as well called The Film Fella. I will be doing some stuff. I did say coming into this before we recorded today, I was talking to Adam, we were catching up. I did start recording a video, so I'm getting there. One may appear.
Recorded a video about fucking Training Day. It's a 20-year-old film.
I might do one on Bond because the last thing that I sort of posted out on my Twitter account was my sort of 60 character review of the new Bond film. It's all right. Go watch it.
I tweeted, I don't know why, but I tweeted that I just to test the water, that I could potentially be a picture of me in a tuxedo, which was photoshopped terribly, next to all the current candidates to be the next Bond. I thought, why couldn't I be the next James Bond?
But that's what everyone should aspire to be, really, is why can't you be anything that you want to be? This is the inspirational part of the pod now. We tell people.
I could be like a rugged, like James Bond. I don't know if this is in one of the books, but maybe, he's not quite as sartorially tight as he normally would be. He's let himself go a little bit. He's grown a big, nice, powerful beard. And, maybe he's in some...
has to save the world by getting a giant Cinnabon
thingy. Yeah, I just think I could do it. You don't have to say much as James Bond, do you?
Prepare to fry, Mr. Bond.
Oh, man. I should have even gone down this avenue. I knew you were just going to drop a bunch of these terrible puns.
As always, he doesn't like to say where he is, and potentially you are only listening to this because he's here. But if you haven't heard of him before, you can go find Beard Meets Food on YouTube, or you can just type in Beard Meets Food on most platforms and he'll appear, and that might start
not like I'm fucking Candyman. I mean, you will get to see my content. I won't appear in real life. Don't disappoint these people. If you see people saying Beard Meets Food in the mirror 3 times, like, where is he?
It's the drive-through. Just open up,
leaving out like a Five Guys, like a bacon milkshake for me.
There's the chimney. If you fancy sending in any questions or you've got anything that you want to say, you can tweet us or you can chuck us an email at moviemouthfuls@gmail.com. Also, this is the bit where Adam recoils in his stool. So if you want to support the podcast in a monetary sense, you can head over to patreon.com/moviemouthfuls if you wish to do so and chuck in £1 or whatever you fancy doing. Again, one and only Patreon at the moment, Martin, thank you for doing that. It's also been noticed that you've also bought one of our t-shirts. Speaking of which, you can buy t-shirts at moviemouthfuls.bigcartel.com. If you use the code Mouthfuls, you will get 10% off. I've just added some lovely, nice, warm hoodies to we've got some hoodies. I've tried to make
t-shirt when you've got like
I haven't
hoodies.
ordered the hoodies yet. I only made them the other day, but we've I'm rocking the merch today. I got a nice compliment from Beard. I've given him a shirt, so it may appear one day. I'm hoping to God that it appears on something. But yeah, if you want a shirt, if you want a mug, we've got a couple of different shirt designs, a mug and a hoodie.
How would you explain buying a mug that having a mug that says Movie Mouthfuls Podcast in your house?
Well, I would explain it by it's a pretty damn interesting and exciting podcast. And then when said person is like, what is that? You'd be like, you should listen to this podcast too. And then they'll take it to work, and other people will be like, "Oh, do you want a cup of tea? I'm just doing a round of coffees." You know, when people used to do that. We had a shitty.
I can't believe you
machine,
actually answered
didn't we?
the question. It was a largely rhetorical question, but okay. Yeah, I have to say, the shirts do look quite good. Surprisingly
there you
good.
go. I'm gonna put that on the website. Just a quote.
It says surprisingly good.
And they're cheap. We're not trying to rip people off. We're trying to make them as cheap as chips.
We're not trying to. Yeah.
Yes.
But I want to say thanks to Martin though. I don't know why you're such an enthusiastic fan of what we're doing here, but I very much appreciate it.
Yeah. It's and as mentioned, all of anything that comes from this support, either Patreon or from the merch, will go back into the podcast.
No, I'll nick it and put it towards my next Christmas single.
All that. As always, big thank you to Lee for all the music on the pod. The merch wouldn't exist, as would none of our sort of like new promotional material without Damon. So thank you for all of the awesome artwork, because it looks sick, as the kids say. We will be back very soon, but until then, remember to look both ways when you roller skate, otherwise your careless actions may affect another, or somehow your shenanigans might give you a new lifelong friend, so maybe don't look both ways. Any more to add to that?
Absolutely none.
Absolutely none. Shall we go? I'll see you in a bit. Peace. My tummy is rumbling or something rotten. I don't know if that's going to come out on the podcast or not, but it's got a mind of its own right now.
Well, I didn't hear anything, but I'm just out of...